It's time for Artist Direct. Artist Direct on FM 100.5 KDEC, your local connection to the music scene. Artist Direct, brought to you by Singing Hammers Construction.
It's Artist Direct here on FM 100.5. This is the kind of morning I love to wake up for. The Curtis Crossroads Band right here live in studio on Artist Direct, brought to you as always by the guys at Singing Hammers Construction. And I'm pleased to have in studio with me this morning, and Timo, Tom Curtis as well as Chris Reynolds. Chrissy and Tom, thank you for coming all this way this morning.
Thanks
you're
for
welcome.
having us.
It's our pleasure.
What did we just hear?
Well, the first tune was Barney Pilgrim, and the second one was Morrison's Jig. The third one was from the Galician area of Spain.
Really?
Yeah, Spanish Celtic jig called Galician Jig.
Spanish, I know.
Yeah, Spanish Celtic jig.
I saw Tim's, like literally the brain, like everything stopped. It screeched to a halt.
It doesn't compute. How does
Ireland,
that work?
the Celts came to Ireland from Spain in 360 BC, maybe.
Did
It's
you
a very
spread all
well-known
over.
date, yes.
I didn't know that.
Tim, I know, mind blown. Tim's like, I'm going to go home and do some research.
That's when the Celts came to Spain.
Wow.
This is so exciting. So this is what I'm loving about the Curtis Crossroads Band. You guys are a group, some families, some not. Tell me the setup here.
Well, we have a Boron player, Lanny Curtis. That's my son. He's a Milwaukee firefighter lieutenant.
Nice.
And my daughter, Summer Curtis Kimball, is the other fiddler. And then we've been playing Irish Fest in Milwaukee since 1995, and Chrissy Reynolds joined us in 2001.
So, Chrissy, how did you get hooked up with them?
Well, Lanny and I worked together at the Milwaukee Police Department.
Get out.
We were playing together in the Milwaukee Police Band, which happens to be the longest running police band in the country. They've been around since 1898, I believe.
I didn't know there were police bands. Come on, Bill Nixon, what's going on? We got to get our...
It's a really neat band. It's a full band, and we do concerts every year at the Pabst Theater in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Really special thing. Performed around the country. But at any rate, I met Lanny there, and we got to talking. I was a flute player in the band, and he figured out I played fiddle, and we got talking about the Irish music, and next thing you know, we have twin fiddles in the band. So
right, Chrissy started coming over to my house, and she had these two lovely little boys with her sons.
Who are now 17 and
yes, and now these little boys are going off to college. So we've been
wow, and nobody's aging a bit. So you guys are
that's lovely.
So who gets the benefit of hearing all these wonderful jigs and reels? Is it Milwaukee, or are these sounds echoing across the coulees over on this end of the state? Where are you playing these
Well,
days?
we have spread out over to this area since I moved here. My family and I have been coming here since 1993, and I moved here permanently with my boys in 2007. So since then, I've done a lot of commuting up until this last St. Patrick's Day, back and forth. I play with another Irish band in Milwaukee, so it's been a lot of commuting, but it's a lot of fun. It's really worth it. And then Tom has loved coming out to this area. It's like vacation time for him. He comes
nice.
out here, and we play around the area, different bars or engagements for benefits and different things like that.
We have two St. Patrick's Day shows lined up. One is at that Sawmill Inn.
The Sawmill Saloon, downtown Prairie du Chien.
Prairie du Chien. That's from noon to 2 on
We're
March 15th.
going to be there right after the St. Patrick's Day parade in Prairie du Chien on Blackhawk. Sawmill Saloon's on Blackhawk. We'll play from about 11 to 2 or so after the parade.
And also the Wooden Nickel in Ferryville on St. Patrick's Day.
Yes, we'll be there on the day.
From probably 6 to 9 or
at
something.
night, yeah.
Oh my goodness, this is going to be so much fun. We'll make sure we give you those dates again. Why don't you do something again for us? Something that we're going to hear at the St. Patty's Day party or something in Ferryville, which, Tim, that sounds like someplace we should be.
It should be.
All right. It's Artist Direct here on FM 100.5 with the Curtis Crossroads Band. Artist Direct on FM 100.5 with the Curtis Crossroads Band. We've got both Tom Curtis in studio with us on the 12-string guitar and Chrissy Reynolds on the fiddle. And now we know that you guys are usually a foursome where there's all four of you. So what instruments do we see when you guys are performing together? Do you switch around or is it pretty standard?
No, it's two fiddles, guitar, and a bowron.
Two fiddles, guitar, and a bowron. Yeah. Also sounds like a band name.
I was curious because Chrissy said she plays the flute in another ensemble, and is there room for the flute in this kind of a Celtic?
There is. I actually play with another band in Milwaukee called the Gleasons, and that's a full 7-piece band with whistles and flutes and keys and all kinds of stuff like that. So there's definitely room for that. But in this setup, we go with the twin fiddles, the guitar, and we do some vocal numbers too. But
Yep.
Now, when I think of Southern Wisconsin, I think of German heritage, not necessarily Irish heritage. Now, maybe there's a lot more to the
beer brings them together.
Yeah.
Tim.
There's a lot more to Milwaukee than I realized, obviously. But is Wisconsin a Celtic environment at all? I mean, how many Celtic bands are there?
The Irish Fest in Milwaukee is the largest Celtic music festival in the world.
Including Ireland. It is the biggest one.
It's very well known in Ireland. And there's an Irish community there.
There's a very rich Irish cultural heritage. There's Irish Cultural Heritage Centers downtown in Milwaukee on Wisconsin.
And 7 Irish dancing schools.
Yes.
No way.
There's a very, very big Irish culture there with the dancing and the costuming and everything.
Okay, let's talk about that. What is your take on the little girls and the fake hair? Let's all have this conversation.
His daughter
right
did
now.
that.
Very interesting because my daughter was a dancer from the age of 8 to 14. Now this was in...
When did the hair start?
This was in the mid-'80s.
Because that was not before.
No.
Before people
When
would
my
try to
daughter
curl
did it, my wife did her hair in those curls.
Yes.
It was those actual curls.
Right? And nowadays,
And
no,
just recently,
they put this headband on.
They wear the wigs.
Did you know this?
I don't know what you're talking about.
All of a sudden,
when they're bouncing around, their hair is bouncing up.
and you see all the little Irish dancer girls they all have these perfectly curled big boofs of hair. And I kept thinking, like, this is so toddlers and tiaras. Like,
Right. But it used to be their own hair.
It used to be their own
When
hair.
my daughter did it, it was their own hair.
Yep.
I am constantly impressed, though, that those girls can dance around like they do and the hair doesn't fall off. I mean, I can't even keep a barrette in my hair, so I'm impressed with
Well,
that.
they're under military type discipline. That's
At least some of the Irish are. So, no, I enjoy those little girls. So, I'm thinking we need to do a live broadcast from maybe Irish Festival.
Definitely.
We're going to send you there, Jenny? Is that what's going to happen?
I was saying you and me, but, I'm fine going alone.
Well, you went to Irish Fest in Waterloo the last few years.
I do.
So.
I always get to go and broadcast from the Iowa Irish Festival in Waterloo every year, and I've been there for a number of years, and they have a great time. But, I think it's not the same weekend. I can go around to lots of festivals.
Sure.
That could be my new gig with the station. So I'm thinking, as we're talking about Irish music, when Tom, you were deciding to start a band, how old were your kids?
Oh, let's see. I started playing Irish music actually in 1983, and my kids were little. Mm-hmm. And I was just going to sessions and so on. And then I joined a real large band that had 10 people, and I was with them for 4 years. And in 1995, we went out on our own.
Nice.
And my daughter was 15 then, and my son was 22.
And were they already playing instruments?
Yes, they were. My son was, he played regular drums in the high school band and so on, and my daughter started playing the fiddle when she was about 8, I think it was.
Okay. So it was they were being primed. They were getting ready for
they were into the milieu. We were early attendees at Irish Fest. I think we probably went the first year they opened up in 82, and we went every year ever since. So we were all in tune with the music.
And how nice that you get to spend time doing this with your children now, all these years later.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, really. I mean, I started playing guitar when I was 11, and I was in little rock bands and stuff, and I can't believe I'm still doing it. I'm 61.
Everybody says that.
That's like 50
I think I'm going to
years.
play for a few years, and then you find yourself still playing at the age
Just
of
enough
60.
to pick up the girls in high school and college, and then no more, right?
Right.
And then there you are.
Yeah, I got the girl, and I kept playing. So.
Chrissy, from a layperson in terms of violin, it always when I'm amazed and impressed whenever I hear a Celtic ensemble, and I always zero in on the violin players because it sounds so difficult from this end
It's
to play
just
that.
fun. It's-
Intense. And
yeah.
Is it as difficult as it sounds, or is it just come naturally to you? Once you learn how to do that, you just kind of just do it.
I think just after playing all these years, it's so much fun. It's not work. It's just fun. It comes easily and it's fun. The beats are so easy to find and feel, and it's just fun. That's what I tell everybody when they say it sounds so hard.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
Well, see, to me, it's amazing because she's got a ribbon tied to a stick here and
Yeah.
four strings on a wooden box. To me, it's like magic that they can do that.
You just made the violin sound like so piece by piece. I was like, ribbon tied to a string. Where? That's so cool. It's a great way to think about it, actually. The fact that we make sounds out of these pieces of wood is pretty cool.
It is.
Speaking of making sounds, will you do another set for us?
Sure.
What are we going to hear this time?
A couple of reels here. The first one is called Mountain Road, and the second one is The Reconciliation.
Okay, it's Artist Direct here on FM 100.5 with the Curtis Crossroads Band. Artist Direct on FM 100.5, Curtis Crossroads Band live in studio. And we want to make sure that folks know how to find you guys, because not only are you doing Irish gigs for St. Pat's and all that good stuff, but there's got to be a place that can find you online.
We have a Facebook page, Curtis Crossroads Band.
And then also there's a link through irishfest.com, which is the Irish Music Festival that we're at every year in Milwaukee.
That's perfect. And actually, I will say I just posted a picture of you on our KDEC Facebook page with a link to your Facebook page. So, folks, if you're
Excellent.
trying to find them, just click on the link. I love technology.
All right.
Thank you.
Ferryville on St. Patty's
On
Day.
St. Patrick's Day at the Wooden Nickel Saloon in Ferryville.
In the evening.
Yep.
And then also in Prairie.
Right, on March 15th, which is Saturday after the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Prairie du Chien.
Do you show
The
up?
Sawmill.
at the sawmill.
Do you show up occasionally at other places between now and then?
Tom does travel out here. I do a regular thing at the Wooden Nickel in Ferryville on Thursday nights with a couple of local guys. We do a mix of country, and we even have some accordion in there. We do Irish, we do bluegrass.
Yeah, I come over for that sometimes.
Yep, and Tom joins us from time to time. And then things like one of our main things that I brought Tom out for was the Lynxville Catfish Fry, which is always the Friday before Labor Day. And that's in the town of Lynxville, and it's their big fundraiser for their community center and their library and everything, and they have a big fish dinner.
Nice.
And we play well into the evening there, starting at 4 o'clock and play till well after dark. So.
Excellent.
Well, I have to say, I have to thank Cindy Lester Sheets for telling us about you.
I met her at one of the bars in Lynxville when I was playing one night, and that's how we got to know each other. And I thank her very much for suggesting.
Cindy knows all
she
the
said
cool
you guys were big
Wisconsin bands.
Absolutely, she knows bands. And Cindy also said that you guys were very great supporters of the Crooked Barn Music Festival.
Yes, we did play for that when that started.
So that's
All right.
really, it's nice to see so many different musicians and supporters of music coming together and making sure that great events like that happen. So
Absolutely.
Big
Thank you,
thanks this
Cindy.
morning. Tom Curtis and Chrissy Reynolds from the Curtis Crossroads Band joining us this morning on Artist Direct. Thanks for coming over, guys.
yeah, thanks for coming over. Will you do one more to take us out?
Sure. How about a couple of Irish polkas?
Sure.
All right. It's Artist Direct here on FM 100.5.
Go ahead.
Thanks for listening to Artist Direct on FM 100.5 KDEC, your local connection to the music scene. Tune in next Friday for another Artist Direct, brought to you by Singing Hammers Construction.